Well, Easter has just passed, and I thought it might be a good time here at our Choices moment to talk about the history of that holiday and other holidays that started as pagan holidays and became religious ones. In the early days of the church, there was a lot of mixing of holidays, and a lot of saints kind of got mixed up with pagan gods, and that went on for a long time, and it reflects even today on some people's Christianity. But Christmas, unlike Easter, was chosen specifically as a date. A date was chosen by the Catholic Church in Rome and the Eastern Orthodox Church in Constantinople. Both chose different dates, and to this day, still different days for Christmas. But whatever date was chosen back in the time of ignorance of archaeology and Bible, it wasn't in the winter. We know this because the scriptures say that the shepherds were spending the night outdoors with their sheep and saw an angelic appearance. Shepherds don't spend the night out with their sheep except in the spring when the new lambs are being born. It's the only time, otherwise they would be home with their families. But they had to protect the baby lambs and assist the new mothers. So they camp out at night during lambing. July 25th or January, either one, pick your date, or the dead of winter of Israel. Israel is desert, but it's high desert, and it's cold at night out in the wilderness areas where the shepherds would have been. They wouldn't have had their sheep there. They would have their sheep penned someplace safely and warm, and they'd have been indoors with their families. Easter, on the other hand, is chosen because we know that the story of the death and resurrection of Jesus took place in a set period after the Jewish Passover. And the Passover is set by phases of the moon. Jewish people in those days followed a lunar calendar, much as Muslim folks do today. And so Easter changes every year, depending on when the moon phases fall, which changes Passover. Passover being one of the central celebrations of the Jewish faith, and Christianity having its foundation in Judaism. Early Christians followed that lunar calendar just like the Jews did. Because for the first 10 years of Christianity, all Christians were originally Jews. But Easter has developed many secular as well as religious beliefs. It seems that for many Europeans, the two great symbols of spring were eggs and rabbits. An egg because new baby chicks are being born in the spring, seeing the baby chickens hatching and seeing the little wild birds hatching was a symbol that spring was here. And rabbits because rabbits tend to mate in the spring, and the males will often be seen fighting each other for females. They're more active, they're out and about, having spent the winter sheltered away underground. Hence we have the phrase mad as a March hare, because the large European hares or rabbits act differently, they act strangely during that season of spring. But other places of the world, it is not the bunny that brings the egg, which is a symbol of the resurrection to Christians, the little chick coming out of the egg the way Christ came out of the tomb. In Germany, it's often a fox or perhaps a goose that delivers the egg. In different places in Europe, it's different animals. I hope the fox and the rabbit don't show up at the same doorstep because that could go badly. But the idea of an animal symbol bringing spring in the form of an egg is very old. Decorating eggs is an old European tradition as well. Eggs were important food to people in the spring because during the years when Catholicism ruled Europe, people celebrated something called Lent. They still do today in many places, where you had to give up certain things in a period of fasting and repentance. One of the things in the Middle Ages you were not allowed to eat were eggs. So enjoying eggs again at Easter made Easter special. In many parts of the world, the spring lambs were consumed as Easter dinner, and lamb used to be a very traditional food to eat on Easter. So the rabbit brings eggs nowadays, and still in Germany in places, foxes and geese and Even storks bring eggs. But what we're celebrating is the renewal of life. Whether we celebrate it as a secular holiday for children, where we sell more candy than any other holiday except for Halloween, or as a deeply religious holiday, celebrating the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Yeshua Bar Yosef, Jesus, the son of Joseph, who was given the title Christ by those who believe he is the Messiah, or the anointed one of God. So it has many meanings to many people. But on any level, it's a special time of year. A time for families, a time for celebration, a time for renewal. Because of our current situation, I wasn't able to be with my family on Easter. We had planned a big celebration. Families from out of the country were coming. It all had to be canceled. But the spirit of Easter prevailed and will come back again. For next spring, there'll be another renewal and another chance at a new life. That's your Choice of History moment. If you enjoyed it, tune in again. Thank you very much.